being dialectical. We're trying to find that kernel of truth in someone else's perspective, or we're trying to understand the context from which a particular something arises from. Again, the more things come into focus when we're curious about and open to understanding context. And so that's really where we're able to get into those shades of gray between the black and white. And that's really where we start looking at things as yes and rather than yes but. Yes and. Okay. It can be true that someone is in so much emotional pain that they might consider ending their life. Life is so miserable that in those moments, suicide seems like a viable option. That can be true. And also, it's true that that person who's sitting in your office also wants to live, or they probably wouldn't be there trying to invest in learning something different to do in life. So those things can coexist with one another, right? One doesn't need to negate the other. So this is the power of dialectics, is bringing it all together so that we can increase our options. Again, our most fundamental dialectic in DBT, acceptance versus change. I normally start on the acceptance end. I'm normally going to start with validating somebody, aligning with them. And as I'm validating, and here's kind of a technical tip, as I'm validating, hopefully I'm going to see a shift in the affect, or I'm going to see the body language open up. The moment you'll have a sense of the moment softening up, if you will. And those kind of indications will tell me that the validation is having the intended effect, and then I can slide toward change. We might practice something in the session, practice a skill, or I might talk about a skill, educate them about a skill. We'll try something different, but then I might need to slide back to validating again. And there's no manual that will tell you, well, is it about acceptance or change in this moment? It's about being in the moment with the person or the people you're with, and being astute enough to recognize what the moment needs. Here are some other examples of dialectics, okay? I can care about you unconditionally, and the therapy has conditions, both. And by the way, this is true of all relationships, really. If relationships didn't have conditions, then, probably less people would get divorced, and all kids would talk with their parents, and, you get the idea of what I'm saying here. So teaching someone that I can care about you and also hold you accountable to certain standards is really pretty useful to teach people. That's how life is.